Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review. And now I'll begin to reviewing the good Mortal Kombat movie, the original from 1995. Because of my big rant from the reviewing the previous of the new one, which I hear my thoughts on it. But I'll probably bring that when I review this though. But yeah. The new one from this year, shit. And people will hate on me for that, but I don't care. It's my review and it's my opinion. In my opinion, this is still much better. The 1995 film was still much better, and especially it was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. That's saying a lot, because Paul W.S. Anderson, he was, just getting started. Because before this was like his second film, this was his first big budgeted movie. Because his first movie he did was like more of a lower budgeted film, but this was his second film. But this is what broke him out as a director. Because later he would go on to direct Event Horizon, which I love, and then Soldier I enjoyed. But then he would go on to direct the Resident Evil movies. Well, Not the second or the third film, but the first film, then the rest of them. But I did like the 2000 was it 2007 or 8? The remake of Death Race with Jason Statham. I like that one. After that was it. I didn't care for his Three Musketeers or the rest of the ones he directed for Resident Evil. Well, actually, I did not mind. I could tolerate the first Resident Evil. I reviewed it. The first one's the one I could tolerate. The rest of them, no. It's all those movies together. I even reviewed the last one, the final chapter, because the rest of it was all just a big freaking clusterfuck, with everything mixed together, thrown around, So, that's why I reviewed the first and second one, because this is too much, But the first film, the second film was the second film. Mortal Kombat, I enjoyed. I still love the first Mortal Kombat film. It's a classic. And Paul W.S. Anderson, how he followed... it's quite funny how Resident Evil movies don't follow the games. But it's funny how Paul W.S. Anderson, he followed more of the source material of the game of this, really enough, very much more... almost pretty much accurate, to be surprisingly. So he did a really good job, Paul W.S. Anderson. Yeah, is this film and Event Horizon? Although I like Soldier, though, but Event Horizon and this film were his best movies. Although I would probably put Soldier as third best. But he did a great job with this movie. And the cast, unlike the 2021 one, where everyone basically had no personality, no charm, no charisma, no energy, the cast here has a lot of energy and they have personality. That's the thing. They have personality in this. That's the main thing. Robin Shou as Liu Kang. He has personality. Definitely Linden Ashby as Johnny Cage. Which, yeah, they want to put him back, bring in the second film. The new second film sequel. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung. He was a fun villain. Flawless victory. What else? Christopher Lambert. And I know people say, oh, he's not Asian. But only with rated in 2021 is that rated in 2021. This new one, he was nothing. He was just. That's what he was. That's what he was. Christopher Lambert here as Raiden, he was having so much fun in this role as Raiden. He was having so much fun. He had a lot of charm and personality in this movie. He was funny and he was smiling and he was like, sorry. Or he was like, I don't think so. Christopher Lambert, he was fun in this movie, I like Christopher Lambert from Highlander. Yes, I even liked the Quickening, the sequel, which that one pretty much gets hated though. I'm one of the few that likes the sequel, The Quickening. But I like Highlander. Highlander 2. Fortress I liked. Was there one? Yeah, it was one was called Resurrection, which later that would get ripped off. The one from Denzel Washington called Fallen. That gets ripped up. But the Resurrection, that was a good one with Christopher Lambert. And he was fun in this role. He was fun. Yeah, I know the whole whitewashing thing with him not being Asian. I know, but as long as you have a good actor and has charm, personality, that I can let that slide. It was kind of later the same thing, in like Doctor Strange with Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One. As long as they're good, I can give leniency. Like Tilda Swinton, she was good in Doctor Strange, despite the character of the Ancient One being an old guy, not a woman. But I'm just pointing out, as long as they're good in the acting, I can give leeway for it. I can let that slide. Christopher Lambert did a great job as Raiden. Bridgette Wilson, from Last Action Hero, I know what you did last summer, House on Haunted Hill, and a couple other ones. As Sonya Blade, I liked her. Although originally it was going to be given to Cameron Diaz. Although that would have been interesting to see Cameron Diaz in an action film like this, but I think Bridgette Wilson, I thought she would have played Sonya Blade better. But it's just like I said, interesting to see if it was originally Cameron Diaz, but I think she got hurt somehow, but that's how she couldn't do it. That's why Bridgette Wilson was cast instead. So yeah, I thought she did good. I thought she did a good job as well. And the four main, they all worked so well together. Four main, Robin Shou, Linden Ashby, Christopher Lambert, Bridgette Wilson. The four of them, they worked very well together. They had a lot of personality when they're interacting with each other. A lot of good witty lines of dialogue. I got none of that in the 2021 movie. None of that. Everyone was just like barely. They just have as much personality as this DVD is. That's what it is. As this. It's just basically knock on wood, basically. That's what they all were. None of them had no charisma or energy or charm to them. None of them. Unlike our four main characters here. They were so fun. They had fun interacting with each other. The line of the dialogue they given with each other. What else? What other great things I can say about this? And it was about the tournament. It was about the tournament, which it was a build up for the upcoming tournament, for the upcoming sequel. When it's called Mortal Kombat, that's what it's about. That's the tournament is called Mortal Kombat, not just about the fight, but before Mortal Kombat. That's why even though the rating this new one addressed that though, no fighting before the tournament. Here it's about the tournament. Even Christopher Lambert said the same thing. No fighting before the tournament. And they did. They abide by the rules, and then they did it for the tournament. It was about the tournament. Now the thing is, I didn't grow up with I didn't play much of Mortal Kombat growing up. Me and my brother, we played another different kind of Mortal Kombat game called Battle Monsters. If anyone remembers, it was an old Sega Saturn game called Battle Monsters. It was the same style. It's the same style as Mortal Kombat though. But me and my brother loved playing that game for so many years. I didn't play much of Mortal Kombat though. I didn't play too much of it, sadly. But I know most of the characters in this. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. So I know Robin Shou. Liu Kang, Raiden, especially Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Jax, which he only bit in this though, but better in the sequel. Shang Tsung, Prince Goro, and Reptile, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and all. We all knew the basic characters for Mortal Kombat. And this one pretty much followed the game. It's about the tournament. And how we open with Robin Shou, because he had a vision of his brother dying, goes back to his homeland, when he gets visited by Raiden, and we introduce other characters like Bridgette Wilson, like Sonya Blade. She's following Kano, played by Trevor Goddard, which Trevor Goddard had his role in Deep Rising. It was his character T-Ray. You know, when in the beginning and Deep Rising, when he was throwing up, you know, like, I hate this bloody water stuff. And when Japan Sue and the other guy were just purposely making him throw up because he's seasick. You know, shut your face, Billy. Australia's a country. Yeah, Trevor Goddard. Yeah, he was in Deep Rising. And I know he had a role in the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. Sadly, he's passed away though. I think he committed suicide. I think somewhere like that. Sad though. But I thought Trevor Goddard did a great job as playing Kano. And especially the Kano in the new movie, he was the one who had the most personality of anyone there. Okay, I do kind of give it that though, but Trevor Goddard was a better Kano though. And I like the metal thing on his face, you know, with the red eye. He didn't shoot lasers, yeah, like the new one, but he was fun in that role. And decent fight when he fought with Bridgette Wilson. And what else? I introduced to Johnny Cage, you know. Quick fight, you know, we find this guy, but actually it's a movie set because Johnny Cage is an actor, you know, big time guy in Hollywood. And like during that little fight, one guy is still standing. He's like, "This is where he's supposed to fall down," and the guy falls down, right? And the director, I think originally was supposed to be Steven Spielberg. Originally, Steven Spielberg was going to have a cameo as a director of this making movie, but I think he just didn't have time to do it though. That's why they got someone who kind of looked like Steven Spielberg. I was like, okay. That would have been a fun cameo to see actually Steven Spielberg in the movie. Okay, if that was true, then that would have been fun, cool to see. And then he gets visited by Peter Jason. Now Peter Jason, who's been in a lot of John Carpenter movies. He's a guy who's like his age, Johnny Cage's agent, tells him about this tournament, but it's actually Shang Tsung in disguise. You know, manifests himself as Peter Jason. Which that was kind of a nod to the game, how I guess Shang Tsung would be describe himself as another person. So yeah, okay. And Linden Ashby, he was great. I love Linden Ashby as Johnny Cage. He's definitely one of the best parts of the movie. Which he didn't go on for me. He didn't go on to do much. I haven't seen him much though. Sadly, I know he was in the remake of Prom Night from 2008, which he had stupid lines to say, you know. I gotta do a rant on that one. Probably do it for the month of October. Now I think about it. Yeah, the Prom Night remake. That was a god awful remake. But yeah, it was cool to see Linden Ashby in that. But he couldn't save that movie though. But he was fun and just great as Johnny Cage in this. You know, the lines of the dialogue he says. You know, when Robin Shou, when they're looking for Bridgette Wilson, they always told us like, how are we gonna find her? It's like, I can find her. I smell her perfume. They end up going on a dead end, and then Bridgette Wilson comes and is like, I smell bullshit. Or the funny one where he's carrying his luggage and first meets with Robin Shou and thinks he's a valet, right? And tells him, here, I'll give you some money to carry my luggage. And then Robin Shou takes one of his bags and tosses it in the water and goes, hey, thanks for the money. So you get fun humor like that. People say it's cheesy lines. I don't call it cheesy. I thought they were fun and witty lines of dialogue. They were fun and it makes you laugh. I didn't get no humor in if they try to make a fun lines of dialogue, they failed in the 2021 one. And they introduced with a Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which they look like their costumes looked like from the video game. Because by the time this was made, Mortal Kombat was just starting out. They had a couple of games, and that's when they were first starting out, you know. So, and speaking of Raiden, and you mentioned, you know, Raiden. Fun little fact, you know, the design look for Raiden for when the game was created, you know, with the big straw hat and all that. Inspiration came for Raiden from Lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. You know, Big Trouble because you have the three storms. There's rain, thunder, and lightning. Lightning is the one who was using actual lightning. That was the inspiration for later on for Raiden to be created. And that's probably a cool thing to know. So, the character Raiden, thanks to Big Trouble in Little China. You can thank Big Trouble in Little China for that. A little fun thing there. Because otherwise, what other character with the big straw hat, will be created? And Big Trouble in Little China, because they had this character named Lightning. Shoots lightning, And you see lightning in his eyes. Yeah. But yeah, that's a little fun little fact there. But and when they arrive, of course, when they do a little practice thing, and Cary Tagawa, when Sub-Zero fights this one guy really quick, just freezes him and goes, flawless victory. That makes sense, because he's judging the match, and that's why you say flawless victory for. Like in the 2021 movie, where all of a sudden Kano goes and says, he rips his thing in his arms, like, Kano wins. Or when Liu Kang fights a Kabag, and just, fatality, right, for Kung Lao. And there's something like that, though, is because it's for the tournament and all that stuff. I know, because they put all that stuff in there because it's a reference to the game. I know. But here, you say the lines that make sense. So, yeah, flawless because he's actually judging the match, So, and there was with the talk art characters, Sonya, Liu, and Johnny. They're talking with one with Raiden, each one what they're destined to do. Like with Sonya, she's afraid to do have people help her, and Johnny, you're afraid to show that prove that you're afraid to be a phony. And with Luke, and he's like, you fear your own destiny. So, and then where they're in the tunnels, they fight some guards, and the fights were well choreographed, and I understood what was going on for a lot of parts, and they had no quick editing, like quick shot. I saw everything. It flowed well for us to see. We understood the fights perfectly. Very well choreographed fights, like when they fight these guards in the tunnel, or when Liu Kang was fighting this one guy. And then, the kind of way Sonya Blade fights, Kano. I say Bridgette Wilson, her, martial arts, not that, it was not perfect, though, I'll give that, though, but it was still a very good fight between him and her and Trevor Goddard. And she wanted revenge, because he killed her partner, so, she got it then, grabbed him, snapped his neck. And one of the best fights with Johnny Cage and Scorpion. And the settings, the background settings I liked. First it was Liu Kang on this beach. Same with Bridgette Wilson and Kano. And with Johnny Cage and Scorpion, first it's in these tall trees. And when it shifts to this hellish area. Fun. A lot of it actual sets, A lot of it not everything was full on green screen. Set that right there as you can see. Shit. Ah. Stay. Now you can see it. And Scorpion, which we can hear, I can hear clearly saying, "Get over here! Come here!" Unlike in the 2021, which that famous line got butchered because all I heard was "Get over here." That's what it was. It felt like it was muffled, and that ruined it. It was like "Get over here," like that. And so, which here I can hear clearly, "Get over here." Even with more in Scorpion's Revenge, miles better than that movie. Which I gotta get that movie too. So. Scorpion's Revenge was also another good one too. That's also better than 2021, sadly, and that was an animated one. But the fight between Johnny Cage and Scorpion was great, Yeah, even though there's I will also say, even from 1995, yes, the CGI in this film does not hold up. Even from 1995, yes, even the little thing when it comes out of Scorpion's hand, or when they're when they're on the ground, there's some things the Hell's Look, or even the CGI of Reptile. I'll give it that, though. The CGI is not that good. I will give it that, though. But the thing is, though, with our characters having personality and charm, and the fights were good, and funny lines of dialogue, and I can let that slide, even though I know the CGI was not that good. Okay, I will give it that though, but still, I'm having so much fun with this movie. I can let that slide. But with Johnny Cage and Scorpion, and when they're fighting the Hellish World, when with Scorpion with Skull on, fighting with Johnny Cage with spears, and with the shield, takes part of Scorpion's head off, and starts bleeding, and goes up in flames, and a lot of the fights, well done choreographed fights. Even though that would think that wasn't that part there was supposed to it was extended because it was supposed to be like in the forest area, not in the hellish area, because I thought that fight should have been longer, so that's why they shot additional footage and extended to be in that hellish setting. Which, yeah, that was for the better, because it would have been a short fight to see that in the forest area, and I think also that with Johnny Cage also supposed to do like his shadow kick, but then that's how he got teleported to the hellish arena. But I know he was supposed to do a full-on shadow kick, though. But I'm glad they did it, extended it on to the hellish area, which that was for the better. And then when he gets destroyed, he had the autograph of Johnny Cage. And then which Robin Shou's fight with Sub-Zero, whereas on this stairway, and a good fight between Liu Kang and Sub-Zero, and creative way. Because that's what because the thing is, though, with the new movie, yes, we have so much creativity, all these fatalities, it was, two gets burned, and one gets, soul sucked out, and all the creativity, for that film, it was supposed to be R-rated and gory, you have all kinds of creativity, all the fatalities you can put from the games, but they didn't even do that. So the best one I could say was the Kung Lao's, saw blade hat, cuts that one winged lady in half. That's the best creative, gory, best death in the movie. In that 2021 movie. That's something like of a fatality you would see from the video game. But and here people will complain about this movie where it's lacking the gore and blood. Like I said, I can let that go because I love the characters, I love the fights, the settings, the soundtrack is awesome, especially the theme from Techno Syndrome, Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. I can't do that theme though. Dun, 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 dun. I'm doing a shitty job of it though, but that was a great theme, and hearing the Mortal Kombat makes you get ready for a fight. In which they butchered that up during the credits of the 2021 shitty reversion. Oh, we heard the Mortal Kombat shouting, but yeah, this was supposed to pull you in because of the nostalgia for that. Mortal Kombat, yeah. But soundtrack in this film was great by was it George S. Clinton. Great soundtrack, and especially for a great theme from Techno Syndrome. Then there was getting back with Sub-Zero, when he gets killed, like, he throws buckets of water, turns into this ice spear, he gets impaled, and he ends up getting, like, frozen alive. That was a fun death for Sub-Zero. I like the one when he gets freaking burned. Like, Cabal, he got burned too, but in that one, that's... whatever. To the Outer World, where another one was supposed to be a fight that's supposed to be extended was with Liu Kang and Reptile, which they also additional footage they shot. Which, yes, I'm glad we got that because that was another great fight. The Johnny Cage Scorpion fight was that, and the Liu Kang and Reptile fight were the best fights. Fun fights between Liu Kang and Reptile, and like once again comparing to the new one with that supposed to be Reptile. But they say it's a reptilian creature, so I don't know if it's supposed to be reptile or not. Here we got Reptile, yeah, yes, the creature Reptile itself is bad CGI, yes. But when it's human form, fine, yes, and that was a fun fight. Great fight. That and the Scorpion and Johnny Cage fight too, best fights in the movie. And then leading up to the point when because you have also Katana's there as well, which only her and Robin Shou are the only returning original cast members to come back for the sequel, which I got right here. Yeah, as bad as this movie is, Jesus criminy, god awful film though, but at least the soundtrack was good. But yeah, the girl who plays Katana and Robin Shou are the only original cast members to come back for the sequel. Because I don't blame Linden Ashby or Christopher Lambert because they declined because the script was not good. Which I don't blame them, you know. They made the right decision. But then comes the part where Liu Kang fights Shang Tsung, you know. It was a good fight. You know, fighting where the arena where the symbol of the dragon is, you know, with the symbol of this on there. And then you have that where Shang Tsung tries to fake out Liu Kang with the illusion of his brother, but he gets past that, and you hear that which I heard the song that was playing when he defeats Shang Tsung was a song I heard that was playing in the trailer for the 1998 Godzilla movie. You recall in the 1998 Godzilla movie, the trailer, when Godzilla when it said from the creators of Independence Day, and it shows the rest of the trailer, you know, dun 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 dun, dun, and then when it keeps going to the end, which shows the Godzilla title, that song right there was playing right. It came from Mortal Kombat, just when Liu Kang defeats Shang Tsung. So hey, he took a good thing and put it in that trailer. That's funny. And all the souls have been released, and so has his brother. And they go back to the temple in the human world. Everything's like they all back to normal. And Christopher Lambert is like, you humans are so great, you know. And like I said, you know, just or, how stupid of me. How can I forget? How can I forget Johnny Cage and Prince Goro? Yeah. So yeah, Prince Goro here, he was a actually well done puppet, along with a little bit of stop motion animation, practical, and the voice of Prince Goro. I forget the guy's name. Something Richardson. He would go on to voice Gantu in Lilo and Stitch, the movie, and in the series. Gantu, you know. That's to say, the guy, something Richardson, he voices Prince Goro, later going to voice Gantu in Lilo and Stitch. Prince Goro was great looking. Unlike of course, the other one, the new one, all CGI, grunting, groaning. Here he speaks. Like he was speaking earlier, he was speaking to Shang Tsung and Kano. Because, you know, he was complaining about Kano's, like, his manners was, you know. But yeah, he's going to taking out all these other fighters, and then Johnny Cage, you know, when he crunches his sunglasses, and this is the badass move where Johnny Cage does the splits and does the bear punch to Prince Goro in the balls. And Prince Goro's like, oh! That was a badass moment. And then, of course, with Johnny Cage, those are $500 sunglasses, asshole. Just takes out. I like that it was Johnny Cage that took out Prince Goro. You know, punched him off the cliff. Yeah, people were complaining like, "Oh, how can he be defeated so easily?" You can do it so easily in the games too, you know. So it didn't have to be that complicated. It was a fun moment though, you know. Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole. First he punches him, does the splits, punches him in the balls, and Prince goes like, "Oh!" And then Raiden goes, "Yes." See, that's a fun energy that I got from out of nobody from the new movie. If people think the new movie had something like that, please tell me where in the movie where each of those characters had the energy and charisma and personality in that movie compared to our characters here. Christopher Lambert, when you get excited, like yes, or with Johnny Cage, well, decided for the sequel, but whatever. But that was fun, you know. See. When I'm explaining this, it makes me smile, and it's fun, you know. So yeah, so he takes out Prince Goro, and that's when Shang Tsung takes Sonya. That's where Johnny Cage, and Katana goes along. Um, by the game getting at the back of the end, and we getting back at the end when they'll return back to the temple at the beginning. What was the main leader's name? Oh, I forgot the main leader's name because it was the played by Brian Thompson in the sequel. I forgot the name. Hold on. I know I should have looked it up before though, but I want to get it right though. Yeah, let's see. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, yeah. Yeah, Brian, played by Brian Thompson. Shao Kahn. Yeah, Shao Kahn. That's the character's name, Shao Kahn. So he shows up. It's not Brian Thompson though, but it's the sequel. But he shows up saying that he will take this world, and then Christopher Lambert with his eyes glowing with the lightning, he goes, I don't think so. And then they all stand there with the Mortal Kombat theme playing. I love Mortal Kombat. For the films based on video games, this is the one that's I say is pretty much the most accurate. Because it's simple. It's about the tournament. It's what it is. You play like in the game. It's a tournament. You play the game. You fight to the death, and that's it. You win, done, victory. Yeah, so this is one of the games that they say is pretty much the most accurate because it's simple as enough. But here, in the sequel, it make it far more complicated as it is. Oh, it's Mortal Kombat. Oh, they spelled it wrong. They spelled it with a K. Really? And I would agree with this here from whoever said this or here gives it 4 stars saying it's Rock'em Sock'em action flick. I agree. I would give this 4 stars. Fun characters with charm, energy, charisma, personality. Like the Linden Ashby was great as Johnny Cage. Robin Shou as Liu Kang. Bridgette Wilson as Sonya Blade. Christopher Lambert, yeah, despite, the character being different, they're like being Asian instead, I know. But Christopher Lambert, he was fun. He knew he was having fun in the role. Love his lines. All their lines, actually. And Cary Tagawa as Shang Tsung, he was fun, too. Talisa Soto as Kitana. She was fine in this, but didn't care for her in the sequel, though. The fights I thought were really well done. Great act fights, especially with Johnny Cage and Scorpion and Liu Kang and Reptile. I like the one when he fought against Sub-Zero. I do like that though. It was decent with Bridgette Wilson, Trevor Goddard. But and the soundtrack was great by George S. Clinton. Love the soundtrack. Made the main thing by Techno Syndrome. Mortal Kombat makes you so excited, gets you pumped up for each fight. Paul W.S. Anderson did a great job with this movie. He did. And the lines I love, Prince Goro, well done practical effect, not bad CGI. Because if it was CGI, it would have been. I know it would have been bad because the CGI in this was not that great. I do give it that though, but I'm pretty sure they did a practical. And a part of it was Sue, part with animatronics, with the arms and such, and a little bit stop motion as well. But at least Prince Goro was a well done practical effect. Like I said with Johnny Cage, those are $5. Sunglasses asshole, punches him in the nuts. Between the reptiles, Liu Kang, Scorpion, get over here. And I really enjoyed it. So yeah, and then of course, well. I don't know if I should review this because it's such a chore to sit through. It is one of the most cringe movies I've have to watch. Maybe I'll have to say this for another time. But I just want to get to this because after watching the new one, I decided I want to have to watch this one. Watch this again. Maybe I'll save this for another time because it is such a chore to sit through. I just don't have to waste my time on that movie. But at least, one thing I can say about that, it had a good soundtrack, though. But, yeah. Mortal Kombat from 1995, yes, it's still much better. Well, it is much better than the 2021 movie. Or I would watch Scorpion's Revenge. That's a great... Yeah, this film and Scorpion's Revenge is the only two good Mortal Kombat movies. And that's an animated movie, so... Yeah. But Mortal Kombat from 1995 is a classic. I love Mortal Kombat. Fun, like I said, all our characters, the actors, lines, dialogue, fights, soundtrack. Yes, the CGI is not great. That's the only thing I would give it then, okay? But everything else, say it was fun and it was alive, Everything was, it wasn't boring, it wasn't lackluster or bland, unlike the 2021 movie. But you can check my rant on that. I have to just, give that a watch later. You can watch it, go back and watch it. That's why I want to get that first and get that out of the way so I can review a good movie like this. A better Mortal Kombat, which is from 1995. And years later, there's still no special edition. Sad as that. This deserves a special edition. Of course, it's wanted now because now it's owned by Warner Brothers because that's what it is now. Frick, man. But that's my review for the classic of 1995, Mortal Kombat. Definitely a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Later.